I'm Jamie.
I'm Mint.
And welcome back to our podcast, where we talk about a random topic
every Thursday.
Now let's get into the podcast.
Oh my god.
Well, let's talk about, you choose.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick, nightmares.
Nightmares, okay. Is this gonna be in your nightmares? Yeah.
I was wondering what that was. I was like, are you speaking into a glass?
No,
What's
I'm
with the
speaking
echo?
my $1 water bottle. It was so cheap and it's so good. I love it. Okay, nightmares. Are we just discussing them, I'm assuming?
Yeah, nightmares. What's the most, like, memorable nightmare that you have? Like, a nightmare that you can remember the whole thing, like, everything that happened.
It was a nightmare at the time, but now it's kind of funny.
I love that. It was a nightmare at that time. That was just funny.
Yeah. I wrote it in a dream journal thing a long time ago. I drew the stuff as well. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, I might have told you this before, but the podcast hasn't heard, obviously. So basically, a bunch of years ago, I was probably 7, maybe, I don't know. And so I was dreaming, nightmaring.
A nightmare's a dream.
Nightmaring. And so basically there is these dragons guarding every single room. But
oh no.
They weren't actual dragons. They were made out of they were made out of paper, like
like origami kind of thing, like that.
They're like pinatas, kind of. They're
pinatas.
Yeah, they were like pinatas with streamers and everything, basically. But it wasn't an actual pinata. It was just for some reason flying around. There was
interesting.
There was a yellow one in front of my mom's room, a red one in the living room, a blue one or a green one, and a purple one outside my dad and my room, and then a blue one in front of the classroom room. By the way, the classroom is it used to be a classroom kind of room, like where we would study and everything, but it's been remodeled into just like a hangout room almost, but we still call it the classroom. So, the classroom had a blue one, and there was a brown bear in front of the front door. And so of course I leave my room and I'm terrified of all these flying things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So I run to my mom underneath all these dragons that are flying around, and keep in mind they were a yard long, they weren't even big. So I run to my mom's room and I see the yellow one outside her door, and I'm like, oh heck no. And then I see the bear, and I'm like, oh no. And so I'm like, how the heck am I gonna get out? There's these things that are gonna want to kill me. And so I end up I don't know what I did really, but then all of a sudden the yellow one was attacking the bear and from the bear. And I was like, oh my gosh, the dragons are nice, and the bear was the mean one. So then we ended up keeping all of the dragons as pets. So it kind of had a happy ending, but I was waking up with cold sweats and everything when it happened.
Jeez. That's such a weird dream. That's like those dreams you meet you meet tons of people throughout your life. Then there's one person that you meet who just has weird dreams, and that's the dream that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also okay, you go first and then I'll tell my second one.
Okay. My dream was I don't know, it was just so weird. We were gonna go to what's it called? We were gonna go to Busch Gardens, and the next day, the night before I was going to bed, right? And the next day we were gonna go to Busch Gardens. And I was probably 7 or 8, maybe 9, and we were gonna go. It was my first time going, and my older sister was you're gonna get to ride this ride that I really like, and I think you're gonna like it too. And I forgot what it was called, but it was one of those ones that go straight up and down. I didn't know that's what it was though. And I just kept asking her about it through like the day before, like, what's it like? She's like, it's fast and all this stuff. And I was like, oh. And then like the night before, and I don't get nervous for this stuff usually until like right before. And then the night before, I was kind of getting nervous. I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna like the ride, whatever, right? I fall asleep, and this is such a weird dream. I have a dream that we're at Busch Gardens and we go on the ride, and I imagine it as like a roller coaster, not like one of those rides that you go up and down.
Yeah.
And we're on this roller coaster and we're going, and we hit the top, and it just stops. It just it stops. And there's kind of like you couldn't really see like the rides around us or anything. It was like there were it was kind of like on a mountain almost, and there were just trees and like bushes and like wildlife kind of. And there was just this like big, not big, definitely bigger than a normal size hole, like kind of on the ground. And a huge like rat comes out. It was more like a mice or mouse. A huge like a mouse comes out and grabs my sister out of her seat and pulls her in this hole. And I'm just sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, we were still on the roller coaster, and it was so weird. And then I don't remember what happened after that. I think she just was in there, and I was just like, what? And I couldn't get up. And you know how they have like the speakers throughout the amusement parks?
Mm-hmm.
The speaker was going and was saying how like the ride has stopped and all this stuff. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And we were like in the like front of the
Ooh.
like roller coaster. So it wasn't like I could like get out and like go ask somebody for help or something. And so I was just stuck
Clearly
there.
not. You're in a roller coaster.
Yeah. I was just stuck there. And I think the roller coaster just like, no, I think the roller coaster started, and that was when I woke up, and I like my whole body just picked up, and I was like sitting up in my bed sweating.
Oh dang.
It was bad.
See, my second one wasn't nearly as bad. Like it was more scary for me, but it wasn't like bad or anything. I think I'm not 100% sure about this part, but I think we had just watched Jurassic Park like the night. You know, it was still years ago, but like we just watched Jurassic Park that night, and I had a nightmare where I was being chased by all these dinosaurs, and then somehow I ended up chasing a T-Rex, and then the T-Rex started chasing me, and we just
What?
and then it just kind of kept happening, and it was like a Jurassic Park kind of scene, but like, you know where how in Jurassic Park it's like there's like the carnivore ones are in like cages and stuff, but like there's the vegetarian dinosaurs that are just like roaming in the fields, kind of.
Vegetarian dinosaur. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, we were kind of running through there, like, and the T-Rex and stuff, and like the raptors, and like it was weird. I don't know why that was happening, but it just happened.
That's weird.
No beginning, middle, end storyline. It was just T-Rex tag.
I remember I had one dream. It wasn't really a nightmare, but it was just so like random. It was so weird. I wrote this one down too because I didn't want to forget about it, because I was like, if this is the future, like this is awesome. It was I just, you know when you just like you're in a dream. I just was in a dream, and I was just in this treehouse. It wasn't like a treehouse like a kid treehouse. It was like an actual house in a tree.
Oh.
And so yeah, it's like a full blown house in a treehouse. And there were these like two other guys there, and I don't, you know, like when in a dream something isn't like established, but you kind of know what's happening.
Yes, whenever that happens to me, I try to get it established, and I just keep going back on myself in the dream.
Yeah, like you don't know. You wake up in a new house and you know it's your house, but you don't really.
Yeah.
It's not really established that it's your house. Well, that's what happened with these two guys. They were my brothers. And so we're just in the treehouse and they were talking to me and then they go, like something like you have to get ready or we're about to leave or something to go to this like presentation kind of thing. And this also wasn't established, but I kind of knew that I was like a business woman. Like I had like my job was like not high up, but it was like yeah. And so I had like a really good job. And so all I knew was that I had to go to this presentation kind of thing. And I was like, okay. And we go down this ladder out of the treehouse and we start walking. And I don't remember the walk there. I just remember kind of walking away from the house and then walking into this place. I don't know really how I got there, but that's all I remember. And so I walk and there's this huge like big building and so there was like stairs. Okay, so there's all these places where people could sit, like bleachers almost. These like nice bleachers and there's tons of people there on the left, and on the right was like these thick white stairs that go up, and then it kind of looks like it was levitating, but it was this like white outline of this building that had glass on it. And so I go up these stairs and there's like glass under me. This whole place is glass except for the outline. And there's like this little white table in the middle, and this like levitating shoe, okay? It's levitating. This is like the future. And all these people are like watching me, and I just like give this like presentation about this shoe that I invented, and it was like supposed to be like really cool, and it was such a weird dream. I like woke up and I was like, I can't forget this. If this is the actual future, like this is awesome.
Imagine you become a businesswoman who makes shoes in the future.
That would be awesome. And it wasn't like a shoe like a high heel. It was like a high tech running shoe, like a high tech sports shoe.
Predicting the future of Nike.
I think it was Nike. I think there was a Nike sign on it. It was cool.
Do you have any more dreams / nightmares that you remember?
I'm trying to think of nightmares. I don't really know. I haven't had a dream in a long time.
Neither have I. I don't have any nightmares, and the only dreams I have now are about school because I'm super stressed, so like that's boring.
I don't think I've had a dream in a long time. I think, yeah, I haven't had a dream in a long
All
time.
my quote-unquote dreams are forced dreams where I'm just thinking and it kind of just goes.
I know that's
I dream a lot.
That's kind of like a lucid dream, but I tried to learn how to. Apparently, lucid dreaming is like really dangerous. I don't really know why.
It's not really dangerous. It's like if something can happen, it's like I forget what it is. I did so much research on it. It's like it's not dangerous if you do it wrong. It can be.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, and then I was like, and then I looked at the steps and stuff, and you've got to like train for months and stuff, and like I'm just like I don't have the time for that, so I kind of just force myself to lucid dream, if that makes any sense. Where basically I'll think of a scenario, kind of how we do, and then my brain will just keep it going, cause imagination.
But that's not lucid dreaming. It's like lucid dreaming, but it's not. Yeah. Lucid dreaming is when you don't force it, when you just start dreaming and you can control what's in your dream, but you can control yourself in the dream. So like what you do.
Eventually I get to that point, but then it only lasts for a little bit and then I fall asleep. A lot of it is forced, and then eventually it's kind of like that, but not that, and then it just ends and I'm asleep.
I remember when I was lucid dreaming, and it was so cool. And you know what happened?
What?
You woke me up. I was so happy, and it was so cool. and I could like remember it. I woke up and I was like, I remembered the dream. And I was in there for like 2 minutes and you woke me up and I was so disappointed.
Wait, when was it? When was this?
We were talking about being like architects, and we were talking about how this game that you had, we were gonna build a house in it and stuff. And like right before bed, we were on your iPad and we were playing and we were thinking about like what we were gonna do. And then
Home
we went to
design.
bed. Huh?
Home design.
Yeah, and then we went to bed and we were talking for a good like 15 to 20 minutes about the house. And I was thinking of all these cool designs and stuff, and you were thinking of cool designs, and we were talking, and then we were quiet for a good like minute, and we were both just thinking. And then I was falling asleep, and I was just thinking of it walking around in the house. And then I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then you like turned to me and were like, oh, what about this? And I was like, yeah. And then I just kind of pushed you aside, trying to like fall back asleep. And I fell asleep and I was in the gym for like a minute and I was walking around and I was like thinking of like the wallpaper and the how I was gonna build my bedroom and where I was gonna put stuff in my living room and my kitchen. And I was just thinking about all this and I was in there for a good like maybe a minute, maybe a little bit over a minute, and then you like sit up and like turn to me and like wake me up, and you're like, "What about this?" And I legit, I didn't listen to what you said. I just said okay, and I was like, "Please go back to bed." No offense to you, I just was so happy, and you woke me up. I was so disappointed.
My mom's done that to me so many times. So basically, I'll be awake, but I'll go back to bed till 2, but I won't go to bed. I'll just be thinking of stuff, of scenarios and like little stories that I tell myself as if they're dreams, even though I know I'm doing it. And
Me too.
my eyes are asleep. So basically, I'm daydreaming during the night, And my mom comes
Yeah.
every morning and she's like, "Oh, the blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "No, I'm in." I go, "I'm in the middle of a dream," and then, like an hour later, I come back out because I can make the dreams last for so long.
Me too, though.
Do you remember that dream that Lily had?
I think I remember some of it. I don't remember fully what happened.
Here, I got this. So basically, our friend Lily, she had. Well, actually, I'll go with Elizabeth first. Elizabeth had a dream where I had Oreos and didn't share them with her. Why?
Oh my gosh, wait, I remember that. I remember her talking about that.
She comes up to us at the bus stop and she's like, "You didn't share your Oreos." And I'm like, "What?" And then Lily.
I remember that.
And then Lily's dream, it was like, so she was hanging out with her gymnastic friends, and they were all like, they had a sleepover or something. And then, so we weren't in this, it was just her gymnastic friends. And so she and her friends went to this haunted house that was presumably home to a crazy killer lady, but also like a ghost house, kind of. So they went to this haunted house and they start exploring it, and it's a massive mansion, right? And and Lily sees her little brother taking karate lessons from this lady in like a giant
Oh
hall with a mat.
yeah.
And so then basically there's any of the lady gets close to her students to like murder them, I guess. And she says, and she knows that people break in a lot, and it's known that people break in and don't return. And so the lady's like, tells her students, if you see anyone, let me know and I will get them. And so he sees his sister and he doesn't say anything because he wants to, tell her. And then Lily is like, "Bro, she's crazy. She's a killer. You have to, stall her for us while we can get out of here and stuff." And the lady sees them, and so they just like make a break for it across the place, and they end up in the bathroom, and like they're about to leave, and then And then, like, Lily and one of her friends are like, wait, we have to go to the bathroom. So they go to the bathroom in the story with this crazy murderer chasing them. And they use the bathroom. And then the lady crawls through a painting that was in the bathroom. And they're like, oh my God. And then an alarm went off of one of the other girls, which let the lady know where the rest of them were. And that was Lily's IRL alarm, but it just made it into her dream and didn't wake her. And so then the lady starts going after them, and then she woke up because she realized it was her actual alarm and she needed to wake up for school. I can't believe I remember that so good.
If I was in that situation, I would like tackle that lady and I would beat her. That would scare me so bad.
Yeah. I can't believe I remember it so good. I really want to make that a story now.
It is a story.
We discussed
a story on our podcast.
Movie.
Huh?
We should make it into a movie. We should like get all of our friends that we don't have and make it into a movie.
Did you say that we don't have?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
or we could get professional actors who people actually know and professional.
What are we gonna pay them?
Photographers.
Let's pay them everything, that we totally have. I can give you Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's about it.
Huh?
I can give them Cinnamon Toast Crunch as payment, and that's about it. About like 10 minutes left to discuss. Do you have any dreams in general that you remember?
Any dreams? I really don't have that many dreams.
Neither do I.
But
I don't remember them.
What?
Neither do I. And when I do, I don't really remember them that much.
Same. Trying to think. Have I had any dreams?
Actually, I was reading my dream journal. I didn't remember I had this one, but I was reading my dream journal like a month ago. And I remember seeing in there, apparently I had a dream about, like, pastries. And...
You had a dream about pastries?
Yeah, there was this cupcake and donut, and cookie, who were all best friends.
What is that?
What?
What is that?
This?
Yeah.
That's my chair. It's broken.
No, not that. The grrr noise.
I have no idea.
You don't hear that?
No.
It sounds like a iguana.
What?
I hear it right now. It's coming from the headphones.
That's
Wait.
weird.
That right there just did it again.
I don't hear it at all.
I hear it right now.
I don't hear it.
Again. Wait, hold on. Say stuff again.
Okay.
I hear it again. It's every time you talk.
I don't know what to tell you.
You don't hear that?
No.
That's so creepy. Okay, just keep talking.
Okay. And it wasn't happening before?
No, it's just happening now. It keeps happening.
That's weird. Well, anyways. So, there's this cupcake, cookie, and we're playing.
Okay.
They were playing jump rope, at the playground, because, obviously. And so then they go to, and they wanted to have a sleepover, but they weren't supposed to. So they go to Cupcake's house, and Cupcake is like, hey, I'm gonna go sleep over at what's his name? Cookie's house. And Cookie was like, wait, but my mom won't let us. And so they go to Cookie's house, and Cookie says, I'm gonna go sleep over at Dono's house, because that's the name of the donut, and I'm really creative with names. And so they go to Dono's house. Or it was Donnie. It was Donnie. It wasn't Dono. It was Donnie. And so they go to Donnie's house, and Donnie's like, hey, we're gonna go sleep in the backyard. And the mom's like, okay, do you guys want do you guys want me to make some donuts? Because little me thought, oh, it's a wise decision to have donuts feed donuts. I hate donuts, eat donuts. No, that's cannibalism. But you know, it happened. So they ate donuts and they went upstairs and they fell asleep upstairs instead of in the backyard. And then mom caught them and they were like, oops. And I guess I really wanted a sleepover. Do you have any more dreams at all?
No, not that I can think of.
Dang, why don't we dream often? I want to dream. Dreams are fun.
They really are. I know this sounds weird, but I kind of want a scary dream, like a nightmare, because I haven't really a scary dream, because the only really I've had like some, like I'll have just random dreams, like just like this is the only thing that happens in my dreams, and it's just me. It's always the same cliff, and it's just me like running off this cliff or like falling off, and I wake up and I'm like sitting up.
You know,
And then,
like you have the feeling of like falling in a dream. I've had that happen a million times, but never have I had a dream paired along with it. It'll just happen, and I don't know why. Because like I'm not picturing myself falling down anything. Fall, and there's no picture at all, no reference, no words, no nothing. I just straight up fall, and like my legs go all weird because I'm like, oh, I fell, but I didn't.
I've had a dream, kind of dream, where like I fell. I was like, I forgot where I was. I was like was it on my bunk bed or my bed? I think it was just on my bed. Like right now, it's not a bunk bed. And I was just like kind of falling off this side, and I had a dream that I wasn't falling off the side. I was just like really like right on the edge of my bed. Like my arm, like if I had moved any more close over, I would have fallen. And so I was like legit on the edge of my bed, and I had on my side, and I had a dream of me falling. And so I like woke up, and my body didn't fall like off the bed, but my body just kind of leaned, and then it was just like when I woke up, the first thing I saw was like my floor, like me facing my floor. And I was like, oh my gosh, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have woken up, and I would have most likely, if I didn't have that dream, I most likely would have fallen on the floor. I did fall off my bunk bed once, and I didn't wake up.
Oh,
yeah, I fell off the top of my bunk.
Whenever I went over Trinity's, it would always be like a who gets top bunk kind of thing before she goes to her bunk bed. But whenever I went over yours, those like 2 times, I would always want top bunk, and you'd be like, yeah, sure, have it. Which
yeah, because people, I think this is so funny, because people always like when when they came over to my house, they always wanted top bunk, and I didn't care for it because I had had top bunk for so many years. And when you have a sister who's on the bottom bunk, when you have a sister that's not close to your age, but kind of, you kind of, you get like, okay, so when I would had top bunk, I would be like, oh, I want top bunk. And my sister would be like, okay, fine. She'd be like, it's hotter up there. It's the bottom bunk's bigger, the top bunk. And so she would just say stuff like why the top bunk was like kind of like bad. And so I had it for so many years, and I liked the years that I did. But now when people want that, like even when I go to camp, people are like, oh, I want the top bunk. I'm like, good, I want bottom bunk because I just like it better.
That's great because I like top bunk. The girl who's scared of heights likes top bunk.
Also, top bunk is when I was on the top, I didn't get sick really, but I would just get really like kind of not stuffed up, like my throat, like if I was breathing through my mouth, like when I sleep, my throat would get like not itchy, but just like irritated kind of because of
the air that you're breathing in.
The dust, and just because you're so close to the fan, the wind. And so yeah, so I like Bottom bunk's better.
The falling off a cliff dream can represent forced change, and change that you're about to that's about to happen, and a forced change that you don't want to happen but will happen either way. So and maybe you moving is the cause for it. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist.
Me moving? What do you mean?
I'm moving to a new house. Forced change.
I've had one of those dreams in forever, a good 7 to 8 months.
Oh, well, I don't know what kind of change is going on then.
Nothing. I know some people say that their dreams sometimes is because of what happens around them, but I don't think I've ever had besides the Busch Gardens, me being nervous for something, I've never had a change in my life that's affected my dreams. I know some people do, but I've never had that. Going to Busch Gardens, that wasn't a change, that was just fear.
Dreaming about Busch Gardens. I've had a million dreams about the first day of school kind of thing. When it's the first day, the day before the first day of school. It's
I've never had that.
I'm not. It's not really a dream. It's more of I'm anxious and I'm thinking of all the possible outcomes, good and bad, and I'm just not in my head.
See, I don't know why, but before on the first day of school, the night before, I can never sleep. I don't know what it's not that I'm nervous. It's just the night before, I'll just start thinking about school and not wanting to go, and I just can't. And it's
the opposite.
It's the weirdest thing.
For me, it's the opposite. It's I don't want to wait to find out what this is going to be like tomorrow. I want to know what's in store for me. I want to know all the possible outcomes. So I go through all these scenarios in my head. And like I said, I'm not really sleeping. I'm just daydreaming. So I end up daydreaming all night. So I barely get any sleep. And the same for holidays because I'm just super excited for them. Big events that are upcoming. I'm just super excited. And I'll think of all the outcomes that could possibly happen.
I do. When it comes with the first day of school, I usually just think about school, and it's not I'm nervous or anything. It's just I just think about school and I just can't sleep. But when it's holidays, I think Christmas is the only holiday that I've ever had trouble sleeping. When I was younger, because Santa. But when I've gotten older, I think, this last Christmas, me and my sister both. It's so funny though, because when she came and was with us for Christmas, she would always sleep in so into the day, and I usually would get up. Let's say I got up around 9, she would get up around 12. Okay, but when she was here, I would get up around 11. But for Christmas, me and her, and we would go to bed later, obviously, because we had family over. But for some reason, I could, me and her just couldn't sleep the night before Christmas. And it was so weird. The rest of the time she was here, me and her could sleep. But Christmas, we just couldn't sleep. It was so weird.
That's really weird.
But it's not like that for Thanksgiving either, or any other holidays.
Yeah. Oh, I have had another nightmare. It's, when I watched The Conjuring, obviously we watched it, and so that night, obviously, I was terrified out of it because that was the first horror movie I had ever seen, and of course, it was The Conjuring with Annabelle being in it, and
Wait, The Conjuring? That's Annabelle's movie, right?
Annabelle has an Annabelle movie, but Conjuring Annabelle's also in.
But The Conjuring, is that Annabelle's original movie? Is that the one where they move into the house and the basement's got the demons or whatever in it?
I think so, yeah.
That's what The Conjuring is?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know if I saw Annabelle or The Conjuring. It might have been The Conjuring. I don't remember. I saw one of them though.
Annabelle is a spin-off from the 2013 horror film The Conjuring. So Annabelle is focusing on the origins of the Annabelle doll found in the Conjuring film. So yeah, I guess it is Annabelle's original kind of thing.
Okay, so The Conjuring was the one that I saw. Okay.
Yeah. So
wait, you were scared of The Conjuring?
I wasn't. I'm okay. I'm really good. Like I love gore horror and stuff, but I'm just like paranormal is not my thing. Like, you know, I can deal with the creepy dolls, but paranormal activity is just no. So I was fine throughout the Annabelle and like the, swinging noose and stuff. Like I was fine with all that. But there was one part that
I need
just
to rewatch that movie.
I'll watch it with you.
Okay, because I kind of forgot it.
Watch it with you.
The only part I remember was the part where they go to like the store to see the lady about it, and then she was like by the road, and like she saw like the doll, and then the like car passed by, and then she looked back in the window and was gone. And then the part about the red door.
I remember one of the main parts that like kind of creeped me out, but didn't stick with me too much was when Annabelle first showed up in the house and stuff, and like was just
yeah.
there and like controlling and everything, That was like a bit creepy, but it's fine. But the part that there was this paranormal spirit girl thing on top of the little kid's dresser, and it just started coming at the camera, and that just like got me. Oh my gosh, there was like this creepy girl moving. It was paranormal, and like paranormal horror movies are not my thing, but Star movies, blood, I love that stuff.
Wait, do you believe in ghosts?
No, but yes, if that makes sense. Basically, I know they're not real, as far as we know. I mean, there's been no signs, but I am still creeped out that something will happen, even though I know it's not gonna, And I'm also
I believe in ghosts. I think they're real.
I believe, but not believe. Like I feel
like I don't believe they're ghosts though. I just believe that they're spirits, and
I don't believe
some of them are just like mad.
I believe there's something, but I don't think it's what I think it is. It's not what's conveyed across in horror movies. But there is something.
So you don't believe like what the movies show? Like,
yeah.
You don't believe like ghosts, but so you don't believe like what the people and like the movies and like the stories say, but you know that there's something.
Yeah, there's got to be. Our world is crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yo, that's so weird.
I love to make up weird stuff that could be true and could not be true. We don't know.
Yeah, I just thought about that. It's so weird.
You don't know. It could happen.
This earth is like, we have crazy animals. We have spirits. This is a crazy world. Like how like in the movies, there's like that world that's just like has everything. Like there's like magic and magicians and like stuff. I feel like that's Earth.
Yeah. So we're gonna stop the podcast.
Yep. Bye everybody.
Guys, for listening. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. It'll help us out a ton. It's completely free. And the worst case possible, you don't like us anymore and you unsubscribe for free. So
exactly.
Make sure to like the video too. It'll help us out a ton.
Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like. And
I just said.
And what else? I'm gonna go take a nap, so
okay.
Bye.
Bye.